hope you're doing well. I hope that you did some squats today. Not necessarily 500, but maybe even 5 would be sufficient. If you're not doing well, consider not watching this video. This is a long one, and I know you've got plenty of priorities that you've got to get to, so do what you will. I hope you're doing well. Today, I decided on something a little different. It's not much different. I'm still squatting. I'm still doing Hindu squats. I'm still doing high reps. However, this one's a bit longer than usual. So, yesterday was day 188. I did a whole explanation yesterday. I originally did squat every day, part 1. I did that for 312 days. I failed on the 313th day. I started it back up this year, and now I'm on day 189. So if you add up 312 with 189, you get 501. That means yesterday was my 500th day doing squat every day. Not consecutively, but in total. So that makes today the 501st day. I was planning on doing something maybe interesting or really something more challenging. I don't really care if it's interesting or not. I wanted to challenge myself a bit, and that's not what happened yesterday. I slacked off. I waited till the last minute, and I just did 100 squats. 100 Hindu squats, that's it. And I called it there. That is fairly standard for me these days. I've been sick, and I'm getting sick of that. I've been staying home. I've been doing hundreds of Hindu squats. And it's getting pretty boring. I've only been to the gym twice in the past month, and I have not been pushing myself. I feel like I'm falling behind a bit in terms of my fitness. I have a fairly good excuse in that my health is not where I'd like it to be, but I'd rather just not make excuses. So, today, for my 501st day doing squat every day, not consecutively, of course, I did 501 Hindu squats in one set. So, this was pretty cool, in my opinion. I haven't tried anything like this with Hindu squats. A few days ago, I did 251 reps in one set, and that was half of this, so that was kind of interesting. I am getting quite good at these Hindu squats. I'm not losing my balance. I am getting a lot stronger in my feet. I've noticed that my feet have gotten stronger. My balance is on point. And overall, I kind of have nailed this movement down quite a bit. I'm doing quite well with these. I don't know if this is the type of exercise I'd want to add weight to. That seems kind of risky to me still. So I'm not going to think about that. Excuse me. Yeah, these Hindu squats are I'm getting pretty good at these. That's what I want to say. So today's 501 reps were not bad at all, honestly. I did 100. I kind of felt tired, honestly. But after the first 100, I'm all warmed up, and 200, I felt pretty much the same. 300, pretty much the same. Maybe a little more soreness in my feet, in my knees, or my quads. You definitely get a pump really quick doing these Hindu squats. After 100 reps, my legs are pumped up. And I'm basically just keeping that pump for the next 500 reps or 400 reps or whatever. So I did kind of lose my balance a few times. There were maybe 3 or 4 reps where I leaned a little too far forward or back, but no falling over. A few imperfect reps, but that's okay. No falling over. I did stop to breathe 2 or 3 times, maybe around the 210 mark, I think, and then again around the 400 mark, and then maybe at like 450. I took a few second break, but I never moved my feet, and honestly, I think I did more than 501. I am pretty sure that I double counted numbers like a few times. I'm not going to go back and watch that. I'm not going to go back and count it because, this video is like 22 and a half minutes. It's quite long. I don't have time to just go back and rewatch that. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to say 501. I'm fairly sure I hit that at least. I'm pretty sure I got a bit more, and that's okay. This was sort of my way of celebrating 500 days of squat every day. I did not get to do that yesterday, like I said, or at least I didn't do that. I definitely had the opportunity. So today I one up myself a little bit. I did 501. Overall, I am very satisfied with today. I wouldn't have been if I didn't do this, so I'm really glad I did it. I set a fairly decent pace doing these squats. I think if you do the math, I average 100 squats in like 4.5 minutes, maybe 4 minutes and 31.5 seconds or something. 4 minutes and 32 seconds, something like that. I set a pretty solid pace. In my opinion, if you're able to do 100 squats in 4 minutes or less, you're in a really good place. Once you start going above 100, your pace is definitely going to slow down unless you have a lot of experience, a lot of endurance. Once your legs get pumped up and you get blood in your tendons and your ligaments, from my experience, you definitely will slow down. And I don't really see the point in rushing it. I don't want to tear anything. I don't want to mess anything up. I am totally satisfied going for quality reps and taking my time with it. And that's kind of what I did today. I am breathing every single rep. That doesn't mean I'm going slow. It just means that I'm taking my time with it, So I set a fairly solid pace at around 4.5 minutes per 100 squats. I'm satisfied with that. I did not fall over. That's a big one. Hindu squats, if you've never done them, can be tricky. You can definitely be off balance a lot. It can be very easy to lose your footing, and more importantly, it can be very difficult sometimes to actually have good footing. Sometimes I will misplace my foot positioning doing these Hindu squats. I will either have my toes pointed too far forward, or maybe my feet are too close together or too far apart, or maybe my knees are flaring out too much, or maybe they're kind of, concave in. I don't know if concave is the right word, but turned in maybe too much and not in line with the rest of my leg, and it can be very uncomfortable. Maybe like 2 weeks ago, I had a set of 100 Hindu squats where I did not take the time to align my feet, make sure I'm in good squatting position. I didn't make sure that my form was good, and I had like 97 or 98 out of those 100 squats were uncomfortable. My knees were popping like every rep. It was either my right knee or my left knee, or sometimes when you go up, your hips will open up, or there's a bunch of things that can go wrong. And a lot of it comes down to how is your form? How far apart are your feet spaced? What is the angle of your foot? What is the angle of your knee? And how is your ascent? How is your descent? How is your ascent? There's a lot that goes into it, which I'm sure most people don't consider. Having squatted for 501 days, not consecutively, but doing squat every day for 501 days definitely puts these kinds of ideas into your mind of what can I do to improve? How can I position my feet better? How can I position the angle of my feet? How can I improve my descent so that I am comfortably going into the bottom position? How can I make sure that out of the bottom position I can create enough force where I am neither pushing forward or falling backwards, staying balanced, and my knees aren't driving in or out, they're staying in line with my feet. How can I do that? At the end of the day, it all comes down to practice and intent. As long as you work on the intent, as long as you work on trying to improve, thinking about, actively thinking, how can I position my feet? Should I turn my feet outwards? Okay, that didn't work. Should I turn them inwards? Okay, that helped a little bit. Maybe in a little more. Okay, that helped a bit more. Maybe my feet are too wide, too far apart. Maybe I could bring one of them a little closer. Okay, that's good. That fixed the problem. And doing this repetitively, getting that practice, getting those reps in, is really what does it. Sometimes you'll have a bad day like I did a few weeks ago where those squats just were not good. My knees were popping like crazy, and I just wanted to quit. I wanted to stop right there. I did 100 though and called it at 100. I really was rushing it that day, so my intent was not on point. That's a big factor in this. Today, I intended on doing 501 squats. I took about 10 seconds before I started the video. So actually, I cut it out probably, but the first like 15 seconds of recording, I am setting my feet, I'm adjusting my feet, I am making sure that I'm comfortable. I am making sure the spacing of my feet is good, and I am adjusting the angle of my foot so that I know once I start squatting, I won't have to stop, I won't have to readjust. Of course, there are times where your feet slip. You're never going to be getting perfect force distribution on the ground, especially like I'm wearing socks, so there's going to be a little slippage, and that's totally all right. So I know how to work with that. I did adjust my feet a couple times. That kind of just comes with the territory. If you're going to be doing hundreds of squats in a row, you're going to adjust your feet a time or two. You're not going to be getting a perfect push off the floor every time. Sometimes you're going to be a little off balance, and that's going to move your feet. You're going to have to catch yourself or adjust. That's just part of the game. Anyways, I hope you're doing all right. I hope you enjoyed this video. There's still like 7 more minutes of squatting, so maybe I'll just put some music in the background. Thank you for watching. This has been my 501st day doing squat every day. To celebrate, once again, I did 501 Hindu squats in one set. I'll be back with some more squats tomorrow. Tomorrow will be day 190 of squat every day again. And I'm looking forward to that. Bye.